y'all have this deep conversation. Now, I appreciate you, opening up a little bit with us here on Talking Out. You get the one-on-one, you get the rose at the end of it. How did it feel when you got that rose from Clayton after having that deep conversation and earlier, having a wonderful, fun embrace with him?
I mean, it felt like a really like well-rounded date, and it felt like we had progressed so much by the end of it, just because I had that one-on-one and we had been there and been on dates already, and so I felt like I'd already kind of established this like really fun relationship with him. I just wanted to see, okay, like, can we have like a deeper connection? Can we connect on more than just like being goofy with each other and like chasing each other with cake. And those conversations started to progress, and that's why I was so excited. But we all know time is so limited, and there were so many people. And so at the end of that night, I felt really good about where we were at, and just really excited. And I was really thankful that he listened to me the way that he did. He's a really active listener.
Yes,
you don't see like the whole conversation, but he was really great. And I'm not sure how I would respond if someone had said that to me either. So
yeah, he mentioned that there was like more to you. You were a little bit mysterious, and he wanted to know more about you. Like how easy did he make that transition for you to be able to open up to him?
Looking back, I thought I was being so open at the time, like before, seeing this. And I can kind of see it now where he's like, oh, she's definitely like holding back a little bit. And I was like, what? We have so much fun together. I just want to have like a deeper conversation. But I think he could kind of sense that. And some of that, came from traveling, which was like thinking about like losing my cousin and things like that. I'm having like these crazy life experiences that like she'll never get to have. And so we'd be like having all this fun, and I just kind of like have this wall up a little bit sometimes because my wheels were always like turning with like other things that I couldn't really like always push to the side. But he made it so easy. It was never like with him a question of can I open up to him. He made it so easy. It was just like, oh, this is kind of like deep stuff. This is kind of like deep dark stuff. Like, when is the right time for this? But he asked me about it, and I trusted him, and so it felt really good for it to be so well received, because it was a lot. It was a lot.
Okay. Serene, so much was said right there. Thank you. You say that you and your family don't open up or talk about these emotional things, but and sending condolences to your cousin as well and your grandmother.
Yes.
I literally feel through the screen that you are an empath. You can feel. You do feel for your people. You do have lots of love to give. For the people listening, what would you tell them are some ways that they can like open up a bit? Because we've seen both sides of you. We've seen you starting to open up. We see it here right now.
I think for me, just like having a good support and people around me not always feeling like they knew what I needed from them. And so for me, it's been about like learning to be able to say like what I need from people, or letting people know how I'm feeling, because growing up in a house with like so many kids, I was so observant of like everything else going on, that I think the most helpful thing for me has been to like really slow down and remember to tell people how I'm feeling, which is, it sounds like such a small thing, but you can't expect people to understand what you're going through, or, relate, or just know where they're at with you if you don't tell them, you don't tell them how you're feeling. And that was another thing I didn't want, like, literally my mind was blown. He was like, I was wondering if you were like less interested in me than you were. He said something along those lines, and I was like, what? I would never want you to think that.
What?
What? Is it not obvious? I guess it wasn't
Um,
that obvious, but
No, that's so real right there. That's paramount, Serene. That's everything. Like you just said, it may seem so small, but it's such a huge thing. But a small thing that we could do, but the outcome is absolutely pivotal. Of just, hey, how you doing? To all the people in our peer groups, how you feeling? And for you to be able to do your part and reciprocate and just be honest about how you feel. So thank you for sharing that. I'm pretty sure you're definitely gonna help somebody out there, to include Brian and myself. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
thank you.